The movie kicks off with a guy named Matt Turner starting his morning with a workout when he suddenly gets a call from his boss. Turns out, he works in the stock market, and things are already going sideways. His boss tells him a client is about to pull out his money after a bombing that shook the market just hours ago, and he needs Matt to talk him out of it. After the call, Matt heads downstairs and finds his wife getting ready for work. She starts talking to him about her problems and everything she has planned for the day, but it quickly becomes clear he's not really listening. There's obvious tension between them. His job takes up all his time, and his family is paying the price. She reminds him that he's supposed to drive the kids to school today, but Matt pushes back, saying he has an important call and can't focus if the kids are in the car. Frustrated, she asks him to at least treat them like they matter, that they're part of his life. But he's already mentally checked out. A little later, Matt gets ready and asks his daughter Emily to call her brother so he can take them to school. It's clear Matt is dealing with a lot of pressure at work, carrying heavy stress on his shoulders, but he keeps it all to himself, not wanting to burden his family. A little later, he hears his kids arguing upstairs. When he goes up to check, he finds his son Zach refusing to let his sister into his room, treating her aggressively and talking to her in a harsh way. And while Matt is trying to talk to him, Zach casually calls him Matt instead of Dad. That moment hits hard, so he immediately corrects him, reminding him who he's talking to. It's clear now. His constant focus on work has created a gap between him and his family. Not long after, Matt gets in the car with his daughter Emily and asks her about the ball she's holding. She tells him she has a game today, then asks if he's coming. But Matt, as usual, says he's busy and won't make it. He promises he'll be there for the next one, but it's obvious she's heard that before. They start driving while Zach is still outside, walking and refusing to get in the car. When Matt calls him over, he hesitates, like there's something else he wanted to do. But in the end, he finally gets in. Matt calls the client and starts talking him down, and the way he speaks is seriously convincing. Even his kids in the back seat are impressed by how calm and powerful he sounds. In the end, the client backs off and decides not to pull his money. Emily looks at him, curious, and asks how he did that. Matt just brushes it off, saying it's a bit complicated. A moment later, a message pops up on Zach's phone. With just one glance, Emily reads it and instantly figures everything out. It's from his girlfriend. That's when she realizes he didn't want to come with them because he was planning to meet her. Suddenly, Matt hears a phone ringing. At first, he thinks it belongs to one of the kids, but they both deny it. He follows the sound and finds an old phone hidden inside the car, receiving a call from an unknown number. When he answers, a strange voice on the other end starts talking, saying how nice his car is, especially the leather seats. That's when Matt realizes this person knows his car very well. Then the voice drops the bomb. There's an actual bomb planted under his seat, wired to it, and if he even thinks about getting out of the car, it will explode. But Matt doesn't take it seriously. He shuts it down, calls it nonsense, and hangs up. Emily looks at him, confused, asking who that was, and he simply tells her it's just someone messing around. But the moment he looks at the phone, he realizes this is no joke. He finds a picture of himself on it, taken while he was sitting in a public place. It's clear now, whoever's behind this has been watching him. Suddenly, his kids scream, telling him to watch out. He snaps back just in time and barely avoids crashing the car. But even that doesn't shake him as much as the photo does. That's the moment it hits him. This is real. Matt starts getting visibly nervous, to the point where his kids notice something's off about him. But things get worse when he slowly reaches under his seat and feels something attached beneath it. He immediately pulls over to the side of the road, trying to stay calm. Then he takes out his phone, turns on the flashlight, and records under the seat. When he checks the footage, he sees it, a strange device, carefully planted under his seat, a bomb. His kids, now confused and worried, ask him what's going on, but Matt quickly brushes it off, telling them it's nothing, just so he doesn't scare them. Right at that moment, the phone rings again. The caller warns Matt, if he hangs up one more time, the bomb goes off. Then he makes things even worse, telling him the bomb is wired to the seats, and if anyone gets out of the car, it explodes. On top of that, he has a remote trigger, so if Matt even thinks about calling the police or asking for help, they're all dead. He makes it clear, he's watching them, every move. Then he gives Matt an order, take the phones from the kids and throw them out of the car. When Matt asks for their phones, they get upset and refuse, but the caller cuts in again. He gives him 1 minute. or he blows them up. As Matt keeps driving, he notices something strange. There's a motorcycle following them, sticking close no matter where he goes. He immediately assumes that's the guy behind all this. That's how he's being watched. So Matt tells his kids to hold on tight and suddenly slams the brakes. The biker doesn't have time to react. She crashes straight into the car and falls hard. When the helmet comes off, it's Zach's girlfriend. She was following them the whole time, waiting for Zach to get out so they could leave together. That moment sets Zach off. He gets angry and tries to get out of the car, but Matt quickly locks the doors and speeds off again. He asks for the phones one more time, but after what just happened, Zach refuses, furious. At this point, Matt realizes he can't hide it anymore, so he finally tells them the truth. There's a bomb in the car, and if anyone gets out, it explodes. If they don't hand over the phones, it explodes. That's when fear takes over. Finally, they give him the phones, and Matt throws them out of the car. The caller then sends Matt a location and orders him to drive there immediately. Right after that, Matt gets a call from a coworker, and the moment he answers, he hears panic. His colleague is freaking out, saying there's a bomb under his seat too. When Matt reaches the location, he finds him there, sitting in his car, just like him. And next to him is a terrified woman, desperately trying to get out. That's when a police officer nearby starts noticing something's off and begins walking toward them. Matt tries to act normal, like nothing's wrong, but suddenly, the woman in the other car takes her chance. She jumps out and runs, and in the next second, the car explodes. Matt doesn't wait. He speeds off immediately. Surveillance cameras catch everything. Then the caller speaks again, cold and clear, saying that's what happens to anyone who doesn't follow instructions or tries to leave the car. Next, he gives Matt a new order. Call your wife. Confused, Matt asks why. The caller tells him there's a safe deposit box in Matt's name at the bank, and his wife is going to retrieve what's inside. Matt tries calling her, but her phone is off. The caller doesn't care. He gives him 2 minutes to find her. Desperate, Matt calls her best friend and asks her to get his wife on the phone, but she says she's not with her right now. At first, Matt thinks she's just covering for her, that his wife doesn't want to talk to him. But then he snaps, telling her this is life or death, and he needs to reach her immediately. That's when she finally tells him the truth. His wife is at a lawyer's office. She's filing for divorce. Matt quickly turns off the speaker so the kids won't hear the rest. He gets the lawyer's name, looks him up, finds his number, and calls him. When Matt calls the lawyer, he refuses to let him speak to his wife, claiming she's not there. But Matt snaps, telling him their kids' lives are in danger and he needs to talk to her right now. That's when his wife immediately takes the phone. Matt quickly explains everything, the bomb, the caller, the situation they're trapped in, and warns her not to contact the police. Instead, he tells her to go to the bank and request access to his safety deposit box. The caller then instructs Matt to pull over somewhere out of sight and wait until she arrives at the bank. While waiting, Matt presses a button on the hidden phone and realizes it mutes the call. He quickly turns on the news, and everything is chaos. The explosion is all over the headlines. Then it gets worse. Surveillance footage shows his car leaving the scene. Now, they think he's involved, a suspect. Shortly after, his wife reaches the bank and calls him. The bank employee asks Matt for the password to authorize access to the box. He gives it, and she's allowed to take everything inside, money and important documents, before leaving the bank. By that time, Matt has already driven close to the bank. As his wife walks toward him, carrying the bag from the safety deposit box, the caller suddenly interrupts. There's been a change of plans. He tells Matt to have her hand the bag to a man sitting nearby wearing a blue suit. She does exactly that, but the second the exchange happens, police storm the place and immediately arrest the man. Then they spot Matt's car. They start moving in to catch him, but the caller quickly tells Matt to drive. Now, Matt panics, swearing he didn't call the police, but the caller calmly tells him he knows, because he's the one who called them. That's when everything clicks for Matt. First, he forced him to be near the explosion. Then, he made sure he showed up at the bank. He's setting him up, framing him. Matt demands answers. If he didn't even want what was in the box, then what's the point of all this? The caller finally reveals it. The client funds Matt manages in the stock market are worth over $200 million, and that's what he's really after. Matt pushes back, saying even if he wanted to, he doesn't have the authority to access that kind of money. But the caller isn't done. He sends another location and tells him If you can't do it, your boss can. Then orders him to drive there. A little later, Matt mutes the call again and hands his phone to Zach, asking him to check something in a photo, whether it's actually a phone or not. Zach looks closely and confirms it is a phone. Then Matt gets another call from his wife and answers, only to find out she's the head of security, ordering him to surrender. Matt tries to explain that he's not behind the explosions and urges her to cut off the citywide connections. When she asks why, he warns her that the bomb in his car is rigged with a phone, letting the criminal detonate it remotely, but she doesn't believe him. He notices she's stalling to locate him, so he hangs up. Zach gets frustrated and asks why Matt didn't let them help. Matt tells him he can't risk it. The moment the police appear, the caller could trigger the bomb. Finally, Matt reaches the location and finds his boss waiting. But it's revealed he's not just his manager, he's also Matt's closest friend. The caller instructs Matt to call his boss and demand the authority to withdraw all client funds in his account, or he and his children will be killed. Matt can't bring himself to threaten his lifelong friend. The caller pressures him. Either you say it, or your family dies. Reluctantly, Matt tells his friend what's at stake. His friend doesn't believe him at first, but immediately begins the process to grant the authorization. As soon as it's done, he informs Matt. The caller then tells Matt to open the glove box in his car. Inside, he finds a gun, and the caller orders him to kill his friend. Matt refuses. The caller pushes harder, saying, "Your life for theirs," and starts counting to 10. Matt loses his patience and, for a terrifying moment, decides he might have to do it. His kids, scared out of their minds, beg him not to. At the last second, Matt throws the gun away. Just then, a train passes, blocking their view, and the friend's car explodes the moment it clears. Shrapnel flies in Matt's direction, hitting Emily in the leg. Immediately, Matt asks Zach to tie a makeshift tourniquet to slow the bleeding. Emily, crying from the pain, stays strong and reassures her dad she's okay so he won't panic. Seeing his daughter's blood on his hands enrages Matt. He quickly finds the nearest hospital on GPS and drives as fast as he can. The caller tries to speak, but Matt cuts him off, vowing to make him pay for what he's done. As he hits the main street, police spot him and give chase. But Matt isn't giving up. His only goal now, get Emily to the hospital as fast as possible. Matt quickly notices something strange. The police aren't trying to stop him. Instead, they're guiding him along a specific route. At the end, he arrives to find a huge police presence, armored vehicles surrounding the area. The police chief approaches him. Matt frantically tries to explain that he's not behind the explosions. Zach backs him up, confirming his story. He tells the chief that they cut all city communications, just as she requested. She orders the car to be inspected. When they check it, the doors are secure and can be opened. The bomb squad quickly removes the doors, while Matt explains the situation. The chief asks him, if someone is threatening him, what could they want? Matt replies, they want a transfer of 200 million euros. She tells him the bank accounts have been frozen. Matt explains that the account is in Dubai, known only to him and the clients. The bomb squad confirms the kids' seats are safe. The bomb is only under Matt's seat. They bring Emily out first. Zach refuses to leave his father alone. Matt reassures him, don't worry, I'll be fine. I just need to apologize to your girlfriend for what happened. Zach gets out, and paramedics rush in to help them. Matt points out that the police still don't fully believe him. Weapons trained on him while the real criminal remains free. He warns them, if they can't catch the criminal, he will. Matt drives off while the police chief orders no one to fire. A sniper has already shot but misses Matt. He crashes through the barricade and heads out onto the street, determination in every move. Then the call comes back. The criminal is on the line. He orders Matt to transfer the money immediately. Matt refuses, saying he won't move a cent until they meet face to face. The criminal threatens to blow up the car. Matt stays calm, replying that if he detonates it, he won't get the money anyway. So, the criminal sends the location for the meeting. When Matt arrives, he sees a crowd gathered. Suddenly, the caller himself jumps into the car with him. He warns Matt, one wrong move and the car goes up, and they all die. Then the criminal reveals himself. It's his friend. He taunts Matt. The best thing about Germany? Trains are always on time. The passing train gave him a few seconds to jump out before the car exploded. Then his friend plays a recording from earlier when Matt threatened to kill him and says now, you're the prime suspect. No one will believe you, no matter what you do. Transfer the money now. Matt hesitates, realizing if he plays along, he's doomed. He could end up in jail, lose his family, and face divorce. But then he smirks. Clever plan. But you forgot one thing. I have nothing left to lose. He floors it, speeding away. As he drives off the bridge, his car crashes into a pillar and flips, hanging precariously over the river. Using the bomb against the criminal, Matt jumps out just in time. The police arrive, and when they find Matt's boss, who they thought was dead, they finally see the truth. Matt is innocent. They believe him at last.